All right, Reynolds here for ESPN Radio 1100, 98.9 FM. We are now joined by a woman. Whenever she walks in a room, everybody goes full bars. Miss Sprint Cup Kim Coon. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here, so thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So what do you got going on at the racetrack this weekend?
A lot of stuff. I'm actually heading there right after this, but we've got a huge fan display out at the track called the Sprint Experience, so I'll spend a lot of my time there. Fans can come out. We do driver interviews. We're going to have Casey Kane out there on Sunday. We've got racing simulators. We've got Tony Stewart's Sprint Cup Championship trophy out there. In addition to, they can learn about Sprint products, Sprint services, our unlimited plan, our buyback program. So a lot of fun for fans. We give away a lot of free stuff out there too. So we'll be doing that, but then I'll be in the pits in the garage getting updates, inside info, pictures.
Working on any cars?
Yeah, no. For our Facebook and our Twitter, facebook.com/MissSprintCup and twitter.com/MissSprintCup. Kind of fans friend on the inside, but then special this weekend, I've got, and I'm going to let you guys give away one too. This is the Cobalt Tools 400 trophy.
That is the
replica.
biggest wrench I've ever seen.
So the drivers get their own trophy, but all the crew members actually get one of these wrenches in Victory Lane. So we're going to be giving away one of them on our Twitter at Miss Sprint Cup. I know Lowe's Racing, you can follow them too. They'll be giving away one. I'm leaving one with you guys to give away. But yeah, 12 pounds. You can actually use this wrench too.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah,
there
it's
are
a
some
full
repairs I need to
functioning.
do around my house.
Yeah, full functioning Cobalt wrench. You just have to find a fastener that's 70 millimeters.
Jesus. Now you had mentioned Twitter.
Yes.
I wanted to get your opinion on this with forgive me, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Keselowski, who tweeted out during the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
what did you think about that?
I thought it was awesome. You know, first of all, it was interesting, the whole thing with the fire and wine, but I think he was lucky to have his phone with him out on the backstretch because he was the only one that wasn't bored. But it just shows the power of Twitter. I think he gained like 100 and...
I think he went to 250,000
followers.
Yeah,
but gained like 160 between when the red flag dropped and the checkered flag. So just in those 2 hours, and then gained more. But the thing we were proud of is that he didn't take the picture while he was driving. A lot of people were like, I can't believe he had his phone in his car. Like, that's dangerous, because we're very much about no texting and driving, focus on driving. We have a whole pledge. But he definitely took it once he was parked and then once he was out of the car. So we kind of gave him a hard time. We're like, dude, you had your phone in the car. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't take pictures while I was driving. It was once I was parked, so...
So yeah, everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
He's within regs.
Yeah,
no suspensions.
And Sprint actually has a drive first application that shuts off communication with your phone after like over 10 miles per hour. So I don't know if he has that on his phone, but hopefully he does if he's going to be carrying his phone in a race car that goes over 200 miles per hour.
You could be part of your sales pitch to him next time.
There you go. There you go.
Now you're on Twitter. You were
saying
you were mentioning that a little bit beforehand. What's the interaction with fans been like for you?
Oh, a ton. Well, I have a personal Twitter, but then I use the Miss Sprint Cup Twitter all the time, just to interact with fans. And I think the cool part is that when fans tweet to us, it's actually us tweeting back. It's not like a PR rep. You know, there's a lot of like post and go sort of things, even like with Facebook with different celebrities and stuff, where it's their PR person doing it, or they'll post something and then they'll just not respond. But we're looking at fans' feedback all day long, kind of responding. And then, like I said, we get an inside look to the sport, bring fans closer to the sport they love. But then we do giveaways and stuff, like we're doing
like giant
this
wrenches
weekend, like
whatnot.
giant wrenches and ticket giveaways. So it definitely pays to follow us.
Miss Sprint Cup on ESPN Radio 1100, 98.9 FM. Looking at fan support, the ratings for Daytona 500 were huge, and there was some talk about moving to night races. What do you think about them doing more night races?
Oh, I think under the lights is awesome to have races under the lights. It just is a whole different dynamic. I think if you were to go to too many races under the lights, because we already have a few throughout the season, that it wouldn't be, you know, as powerful as it is because we only have a few. But I think in terms of Daytona 500, I think Fox, that was the best rating they had on a NASCAR race in their history of broadcasting races. So I think definitely moving into next season, already looking to 2013, it'd be very advantageous to, you know, keep the 500 on Monday night, because it's like you have Monday Night Football, so it'd be nice to, you know, bring another sport.
To make it kind of like
Monday Night NASCAR.
That is the biggest race, and just put it on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like our Super Bowl, and it's the kickoff to the season, and I thought it was just absolutely perfect. I know the conditions didn't seem perfect because how we got there, you know, rain, that sort of thing, but it ended up being pretty great.
Yeah. Now here's my idea though for that is everybody gets high beams. After that, just turn on your brights.
Turn on your high beams.
Yep.
We're gonna turn out all the track lights, and we're just gonna use high beams.
Yeah,
it's actually interesting if you go get close enough to a stock car, if you're in the pits in the garage and get to see them, that lights are actually decals. They don't have lights. So I think that's one of the hardest parts about racing is people think you know, yeah, it's not hard to race, but these guys are going over 200 miles per hour sometimes. They're inches apart. It's 43 drivers out on the track. They don't have lights. They don't have tail lights. So, like, when guys brake, they don't know, that sort of thing. There's no, like, rear view, side rear view mirrors. So it's a lot harder than people think.
Now, you're very educated, obviously, on this. How often do you get in the car, but you're yourself? I'm not maybe not driving or riding in the car.
I would love to drive. I've actually gotten to do the Richard Petty ride-along experience.
Well, what was that like?
I think it's scarier than actually driving the car. Don't hold me to that, because when I drive the car, I can come back and tell you about that. But normally there's not a passenger in a NASCAR stock car. And with the ride-along, you have a driver, but then you're in the passenger seat. So when they are whipping around the track, we don't go 200 like the drivers do, but we were hitting probably close to 170, 175, and you're literally inches from the wall. So it's almost scarier because, like I said, these cars aren't really designed to have a passenger yet. They're putting us in the passenger seat, and you're literally whipping around the track just mere inches from the outside walls.
Now, what's the experience like doing that and then going back to driving in normal traffic where you're stuck at a red light? Like, do you find yourself getting more frustrated?
I get frustrated in general with traffic. I wouldn't say I have road rage, but...
But if you have that wrench with you, you're going to do some serious damage?
Yeah, I might do some serious damage. I like to use my horn a lot. Tell people how I really feel.
It's Miss Sprint Cup Kim Coon joining us on ESPN Radio 1100, 98.9 FM. I want to get you out on this right here. I saw that it says you're very adventurous in your bio and you eventually want to go shark cage diving.
Yes. I like to do things that get my adrenaline going, blood pumping. I got to go, I think the last kind of cool thing I did, I went surfing when we were in Daytona, but the conditions weren't really well, but I went ziplining in Mexico, like over canyon. So I like to do like fun, adventurous, adrenaline pumping things. So I just think it would be fun to cage dive with sharks. Some people might call me crazy, but...
Yeah, it's too much Shark Week on that. I stick to English muffin pizza. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. Tell us more about your Twitter and what else you got coming in with the race this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Just fans encourage you to follow us at facebook.com/MissSprintCup and twitter.com/MissSprintCup. Giving away a wrench this weekend, a Cobalt Tools actual full-functioning wrench, replica of what the crew guys get in Victory Lane. You can also go to Lowe's Racing on their Twitter to learn more about that. But can't wait to see everybody out in the race. And if you're coming, make sure you're not texting and driving.